Hey y'all, this is Asha B, aka Minnesota Born and Raised, and I'm here with...
What it do, folks, man? It's your boy Uncanny 93 2.0, aka Egypt King. Yeah, I kind of forgot it for a little bit, but we got this bitch going. So, you can follow your boy on TikTok at Uncanny 93 2.0.
Yep. Man, today has been a day, right?
It's always a goddamn day, ain't it?
Life of parents, right? Anyways, we got a good podcast for y'all today, right? Something that we want everybody to enjoy. Like I said, this is a therapy session. We're supposed to get some healing up in here, right?
Therapy healing, baby. Let's do it.
Anyways, this episode is now our third episode.
Hey, fuck yeah, turn the fuck up. We've been doing this shit for what? We did this for a month. This is on our third episode. Don't worry about that though. We done changed the schedule, so we're gonna be dropping 2 videos or 2 podcasts for y'all 2 days throughout the week. So
it may change in the future. We don't know. Like I said, this is our first podcast that we're ever doing, and we just want to bring y'all some healing therapy sessions real quick because, the world is crazy as it is. So,
yeah, and we here to bring y'all a little something that kind of ease your minds just a little bit, give you something to think about,
Yeah. So, today's podcast, I'm going to be interviewing Uncanny.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We weren't talking about that in the podcast.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be interviewing him today about breaking up and moving on, right?
It's about to be tough.
Aww. Why? Why? It shouldn't be hard at all. Sometimes breakups are necessary, all right?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. So, yeah. So, we're going to talk about this because I think a lot of people nowadays don't understand that breaking up can be the most healing thing, especially from a toxic person. Sir? Okay?
That's Mini E in the background. Don't mind her.
But yeah, it comes with its own growth, healing, and being able to move forward. So, all right, let's get it started. So, I haven't been, like I said, last episode, y'all know me and him were long distance for a little minute or whatnot. Yeah. But as friends, I got to see him grow as a man. So, he's been through many breakups, many moving on phases,
Then we all been there, haven't we?
Exactly. So, hey, you got a lot to teach. So, yeah.
All right.
All right. So, let's go back. How do you know when a relationship has run its course?
When the cops get called.
Really?
When the cops get called.
So you know to get in when the cops get called?
Absolutely. If the cops got to get in between your relationship, nah. It's all ain't no coming back from that. No, but on a serious note, when it's run its course, you'll be able to tell the signs of what just from watching your partner, paying attention to their mannerisms, their body language, how they talk to you, what they do towards you, what they say towards you, things of that nature. You'll feel a shift. It's an energy, you feel me? And I don't want to sound like them guru people that be like, energy is everything and all that. No, you literally will feel a shift. Like when me and my girl get we have our little moments. We don't even argue. We just had debates for real. And you'll feel a shift in that, and it'd be making me want to go back and apologize. And half the time, I ain't even the one that started it. So.
Oh, stop.
But no, it's an energy. And like I said, you'll feel that shift. Once you feel that shift, you got a chance to fix it.
Yeah.
Or let nature run its course, and you're gonna have to split. Look, I read a quote, and it said something like, "If you found your special one, that meant God sent it. But if it went away, that means God never sent it. It was never in God's plan in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're either a blessing or a lesson.
Yeah. And we all have a lot of lessons in life, so
Yeah.
you got to take what you learn from that one. You got to continue to become better after that, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, babe, what are the signs that breaking up is really the healthiest for you? So, like I said, you know, you know how you have the relationship that, you know, it's like right person, wrong time. You have those ones, and you have the really toxic form of knowing that you have to end it, but ending that toxic cycle in the healthiest. How do you know when it's the healthiest choice for you?
When you're not in jail.
You in jail.
When you not in jail? No, let me guess. No, what I said about not being in jail, that's true though. That's true.
Like I said, cops should not be involved. Y'all should be able to be adults and communicate.
Period. You shouldn't be childish. But that's besides the point. What was the question again?
It was basically, what is the healthiest sign of, like, breaking up? What is the healthiest choice?
Healthiest choice is to be around some people that support you while you're going through that tough time of a breakup. You definitely gonna need support, because if you don't have support, you ain't got no friends to back you up or no family to back you up. You're gonna go right back to that toxic person, and you're gonna sit there and reality gonna hit you like, why am I with this person? Why am I dealing with this when I could be doing something else, you know? When it's time, you'll feel it, and that's when you need to take action.
Yeah. Have you ever tried couples therapy with, like...
I tried at one point. I tried couples therapy with the lady from hell. We ain't gonna speak her real name, but let's call her Lady from Hell. And I wanted to do couples therapy. Even, yeah, like I said, when cops get involved, she called the cops on me. And the cops, like, I didn't even do anything. Like, we were just arguing, and she couldn't take communication. Like, she didn't communicate well. Her best thing was, oh, well, if I can't win this, then I'm calling the police. And the police was like, you called over an argument? And he gave me the number to call couples counseling. And I'm like, yeah, we're doing this. And she took the paper and ripped it right up. So that right there shows she didn't care about the relationship from jump. That's when I started realizing a lot of shit about the person that I was with. And I was like, I need to escape. I need to get away from it. So she out doing whatever with who knows what, giving somebody else hell. Hopefully she matures. But, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever... Is there a good way to break up with someone?
It's never really a good... Breakups are never easy.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Breakups are never easy. You can do it in person. You can be an adult about it and do it in person. Some people say breaking up over text messages isn't a real thing. But if you don't want to hurt that person, tell that person off rip. Like, if you feel it's like I said, a shift. If you want to split with that person, you gotta tell the person off rip so they can move on with their life. So you're not stringing them along. The reason why I say that is because, like I said, it's never easy to break up with somebody. It's never easy, especially when you've been with somebody for X amount of years and you just finally like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. It's never easy. Now, if it's toxic, I say do it from a long distance. Do it through text message. That's me. If it's toxic and you know this person toxic and you scared to say it in front of their face, say it over text message. Make sure you're around family and friends so that person don't try to pop up on you. You know?
Or if they try to talk you out of it.
Oh, yeah. A toxic person, they manipulative as fuck. They definitely know how to talk you out of a breakup and make you stay. Mm-hmm. But that's when you can't be so naive towards what they saying. Mm-hmm. You got to realize what's being said and weed it out and be like, no,
and
I
the
know
way
what's
in
going
which you were
on.
disrespected too. Like
Yeah.
the way in which you were disrespected in the relationship should give you all the more ammo to say, yeah, no, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
Because that to me, like if somebody can be so manipulative to keep me in a very messed up situation, and then I continue to go back, eventually my mental health gonna go, my physical health gonna go, and everything else like that. So there is a good and a bad way to break up with somebody. A good way is, like I said, if y'all are both on the same page, y'all are like, okay, we're gonna be adults about this. We can't do this no more. That's a good way to break up. Talk to them, be able to communicate. But bad ways to break up, yes, I do believe it's over text. Like I said, but if the person's toxic and they're really manipulative, do what you have to do at that point, because at the end of the day, it's for your mental health only.
Right.
So yeah,
She said it better than I could.
But like I said, we already discussed that. Like I said, it's better to be able to communicate with the person when it comes to breakups, because I've been broken up over with by text because he didn't want to hurt my feelings. I've had that happen before. And I would say that's the most, I wouldn't say it's disrespectful, but it's the most rudest way, especially if you cared about the person, is to break up with them over text.
I disagree.
Call me, FaceTime me, something, especially if we had a cool relationship and stuff like that.
I disagree.
I disagree with that. I don't think you should, like I said, if the person's toxic, do what you have to do. But if that person was cool with you, if like I said, people are gonna have and feel emotions.
Say it however you want to say it, bro.
Like I said,
say it however you want to say it. If you don't want to deal with the, like I said, like this might contradict what I said earlier. Like I said, if it's toxic, do it through text message. But if you just don't want to see that person cry in front of your face, do it through text message. Don't do it through phone call. No. Leave a voicemail.
Don't do that.
Hell yeah, because that shit hurt.
But okay.
I don't want to watch the person that I was with cry.
Okay, but that doesn't give them the closure that they need to me face to face, or even FaceTime. Yeah, you're gonna see me crying, but there's times in our relationship that we could have cried together. You saw me cry then. So you can't see me cry when it's the end of it all?
Nope.
Yes, absolutely. You should be able to, because now, guess what?
That's a weakness, because that's going.
That's a closure to me.
Here's why I said it. Once the person start crying, I'm instantly obligated to say, okay, I call off the breakup. Let's try again. Knowing damn well I don't want to be with this person, but because you teary-eyed, I gotta sit here and deal with the fact that I can't let you go, because if I do, you gonna cry in my arms. I can't do it. That's me personally. I'm breaking up with you through text message. Call it whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm breaking up with you because I don't want to see you crying over the phone. Because the first thing a person asks after you break up with them is, why?
But again, you have
I don't want to answer that question.
You gotta think. Like I said, if you done had a good relationship with this person, the most decent thing you could do, regardless if that person cries, if you care enough about that person, you're going to allow them to cry, get it out, and then that's going to be a more healing thing for them to do, because that's when the other person's going to say, why?
What if she turns psychopath?
No, she's not going to turn psychopath.
You don't know that. You don't fucking know that. She don't know that. She don't know that.
Like I said, if it's a person that you really fucked with, y'all both fucked with each other, and y'all just know y'all could not continue y'all's relationship, she's going to be understanding of that. But if you're just sending her a text, we gotta break up, she's gonna be asking you why. And then you're gonna get a psycho on your hands, because she's like, hold on, this is rude as fuck. I thought we were forever. Give me some closure, something. Y'all discuss it, because if you're gonna sit down with her and discuss, hey, this is the reason as to why we can't be together, she's gonna be like, yeah, I understand that, blah 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 blah, and y'all have an adult conversation with each other. She can now let go. The energy is not gonna be on you no more. She gonna cry for a little bit. You ain't gonna say that you want her back and nothing like that. And she gonna have her clothes. She's easier to move on than rather be stuck to you because you did it through text message. tell that woman, if you care about her, hey, this is the reason as to why I want to sit down and want to have a conversation with you. That's grown. That's
I
grown
respect
man
it.
shit.
I respect it. I'm talking about me personally. I'm not dealing with the tears.
Is you kidding?
I respect it though.
Oh God. All right. So for you, how do you prepare for a breakup if you're the one initiating it?
How do you prepare?
Like, how do you prepare yourself for that talk? That talk with that person. How do you do it?
How do you prepare for a breakup?
Is it more like a mental thing? Is it more like I have to?
Well, you gotta sit back and think like how this person gonna react. If you know this person really well and you know you about to say these words, you have to really sit back, prepare yourself for what's about to be said, and still be man enough to say it because for whatever reason you want to do it for it. So you definitely have to prep yourself for those times. It's like, yeah, I can't do it anymore.
Okay.
A little bit of what she said, explain why. If you want to talk to him on the phone or talk to him in person, explain why. If you get slapped for leaving, take the slap. It is what it is. Because you definitely going to get slapped. That's okay.
You might not. Like I said, it really depends on what you say and how you say it. If you're just saying, hey, I won't be with you no more, and you're kind of like nonchalant with it, I'll be mad.
Yeah. Like if you want to stay where, okay, say, for instance, I'm going to draw y'all a picture. For instance, say you about to leave state. Say you got a good ass job in a different state. You can't take this girl with you for whatever reason. And you like, damn. Say she don't believe in long distance relationships, but you got this good ass job that could pretty much change your whole life, and you just also, yeah, I gotta break up with her just so I can live the life that I want. Like I said, there's two ways you can go about that. Now, if she up and down and be like, well, no, we ain't breaking up, take me with you, absolutely. Take that chance, take her with you. But if she don't want to go, and that's her pretty much holding you back, you gotta leave. You feel me? You gonna have to leave. If you want to better yourself and that person not ready to leave at whatever state they in, say y'all in the same state, she not ready to leave yet, you gotta split it off with her and you gotta explain why.
And what if y'all try to like work it out long distance and then it kind of just falls apart and fades away after that?
Let it fall apart or acknowledge it and fix it.
Yeah. Like I said, usually, you can tell if a relationship will last if you can do it the long distance way, and if it just kind of starts to fade away, then that's how you know, all right, it's time to break it off. We're on two different life paths, stuff like that.
Right.
So I think that's when you have that talk with them and be like, I don't think this is conducive to me being where I'm at in life, and we're not on the same page.
She sound like a god, don't she? It's crazy.
What? Shut up.
I don't really think it's working out.
I would explain it. I would explain it because, 9 times out of 10, that person is not going to understand the process, especially when it was like, okay, let's see what happens while we're at a distance. And if it's just not working out, that's when y'all should sit down and have the talk. Hey, we're not making the time for each other no more. Y'all not she's not trying to go see you. You're not trying to go see her. You're dealing with a different life path than what she is. I can see if y'all two were on the same life path and going, live your dream, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then y'all both doing it separately, just in different states. And then eventually y'all break down and have a timeline.
Right.
That's different.
All right.
So, have you ever given an ex a second chance? And should you?
Absolutely. More than what I should have. I'm pretty sure we all been through that.
Yeah. But in some situations, is moving on always best? And should, like I said, should you go back to an ex or give an ex a second chance?
It depends on the ex. Now, you got your average people that be like, absolutely not. I'm leaving that, da-da-da-da-da. And she an ex for a reason, da-da-da-da. If you hear a person talk like that, he or she was obviously hurt. And they feel that way now because that person pretty much let them go. Now, if you ask me, it all depends on who you are with. Please remember that. It all depends on who that person was, how they treated you, what was the relationship like.
What was y'all's friendship like, if you were friends before then?
Things of that nature. So if y'all was once cool and you give that person a chance again, or that person give you a chance again, work it out if it's cool as well. But if it was toxic, which majority of the relationships in this generation is, hell no, I don't go back to that person.
Yeah, that's when you know moving on is the best, because it's, like I said, for your own sanity.
When you start doing a lot of stuff differently, and not in a good kind of I'm sprung differently, I mean, you're not talking to family like you used to. You're not talking to friends like you used to.
Isolated.
Yeah, you pretty much isolated from the world.
Yeah.
Those are signs of a toxic trait, and that's a red flag. If you can't talk to your family or friends, you need to let that person go. Hell, get your family and friends involved.
Mm-hmm. And
I remember back in the day, I used to have my friends buy me a ticket out of state just to get out of the situation that I was in. So, yeah, most definitely don't let your folks go over somebody that's temporary.
Yep. You can always tell who's temporary and who's a lifetime. So,
yeah,
by what they do. Okay. What were some steps that you took to not go back?
Stay my ass in the house. She laughing. I'm dead ass serious. Stay my ass in the house.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck. Look, I'm gonna be 100% real with
what
you.
If they like texting you, oh, babe, come back?
You asking me what I did?
Yes.
Beat my meat.
Oh God,
you asking the question? I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna answer it. What did I do?
Since you did.
I watched. I stayed busy. I stayed busy.
Yep.
I stayed busy. For those times I was feeling some type of way, I would please myself.
Oh God.
Well, I would please myself. And the more days that came from me not talking to that person, the better I got. Yeah, literally, no contact works. Yes, when you don't contact that person for ups amount of months to a year, give yourself a year without talking to that person. I guarantee you, by the time the next year, you're probably not gonna forget about that person, but you're gonna be like, no, I really don't need it. Mm-hmm. Hey, women got the rose now. You know you can get replaced by a rose.
You can get replaced by a sex doll too.
Hey,
and a freaking AI. What? Like that one TV show we were watching with the man's wife got him a sex doll, but it was like
I would never give my girl no sex doll. You're not replacing me with no goddamn machine.
Oh my goodness.
I'm supposed to be drilling the hole, not him.
Oh God, really? No.
I'm just saying.
Like, after your breakups, like, did you ever have like a depressive period?
Absolutely.
And how did you deal with that?
Chris Brown.
Really? What did Chris Brown do? What did Chris Brown do?
Chris Brown, when they come to me, everybody who know me, huge Chris Brown fan. Not for the way he looked or his dancing or any of that. I literally can relate to Chris Brown because if you listen to Chris Brown, that's my life story. So when it came down to certain songs that I play, I let them play. I be in my little depressed mode. Then I play some turn up music, like, yeah, fuck that bitch. You feel me? So, yeah, that's my answer right there. Chris Brown definitely. Like, to a lot of people, songs don't really get them through. Mm-hmm. But for people like me, that can relate, they'd be like, yeah, music changes your whole perspective on life.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's relatable.
So, yeah. So, definitely music and staying busy. Okay. The more busy you stay, the more you forget about that person. Mm-hmm. At least for that moment.
That's true. That's true. But what do you think is the biggest mistakes that people make after a breakup?
Going back.
What about, like, I feel like the biggest mistakes the person can make is to stalk the other person.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
if it
going
comes
on
down
their
to
social
stalking,
media, trying to see what they doing with their life,
Yeah.
like, pondering, like, what they're doing.
oh, yeah, you definitely get
So, not
exes like
keeping
that.
busy. Like I said, not keeping busy. Always stalking their socials, trying to see what they doing.
Like, who they talking to.
Yeah, trying to see if they done moved on.
Yeah.
And then it gets you in your head, and that's how that spiraling into depression.
You gotta, that's when it comes. If it get that bad, I'm not even about to be like, oh, you need to go to counseling. Like, no, I'm not. But you have to literally discipline yourself, which is so hard. And I know it's hard because I've been there. Yeah. I've been there. I've been the nigga that look on my ex's page and be like, damn, she is so bad. I want to message her, but I know it's not going to work out. So let me go ahead and refrain myself from talking to. I've been that person.
Yeah.
You got to discipline yourself, bro.
That's
hell, TikTok and Chris Brown is what changed my whole experience on the dating. On dating and being with a person. After a breakup, I fuck around, make some videos. Fuck it. Once I realized I had like up to 100 females, oh my God, you're so this, that, and the third. And I started getting my old shit. I'm that nigga. Man, let me tell you. Nigga, man. I'm that nigga. I'm the shit. All these women talking about linking up with me, pulling up on me, buying me shit. I started realizing I was that nigga when a woman brought me a phone and I wasn't even talking to her all like that, and she pulled up on me. I ain't gonna give y'all the whole story, but one thing led to another, and then I kept it pushing. I kept it pushing because I thought she was a psychopath, but
yeah, like I said, you gotta watch some signs after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Should you take a break from dating after breakup? I think you should.
Most people got this saying. Well, the old folks got this saying: to get over one man or a woman, you have to get under a new one.
I do not.
Me personally,
that is the worst thing
I don't think. I think taking a break is good for your mental health. Because me personally, I've had moments where I didn't have breaks. I was that person that, oh, well, since this person don't want to be me, I'm going to go ahead and be with this person.
And it was back.
It got hectic. So once you clear your head and you leave everything alone, you take a mental health break for those times you want to do stuff with those people, which could start feelings. You have to think about that. Yeah. Or a baby, or diseases. Pleasure yourself before pleasuring anybody else.
I think a break after a breakup, you get to find yourself. So that's my take on it. I would take a break before I start to date again. Because
better get you a rose.
Exactly. You better be like Chloe Bailey. I got a rose. She had a whole ass song about that.
She said, fuck that nigga, get my rose.
I can please myself on my own.
And anybody who's immature think it's funny, like, oh, you about to what? But all the roses, like,
I would rather be lonely and to myself
being my own self
than to deal with somebody who.
I'd rather be pleasuring myself than staying busy and washing my hands.
Working on your goals too.
Yeah,
working on myself.
That's what I mean by staying busy.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I think it's good, women and men, to take breaks. Do not try to get up. I think that's the most craziest thing, because that's how you catch feelings, how some people catch feelings when your mind is not even on getting back into a relationship, unless you have the conversation with the person about, hey, this is what I want. I really don't want a relationship. I'm not looking for nothing serious, that type stuff. And they on what you want, then okay, do you at that point. But as far as dating, I do not think you should go straight back into dating, because one, you're not even over the other person at that point. You just hopped out of one relationship and went into another.
Don't get into no relationship. You want it from a real. Fuck all that other shit, bro. Like I said, pleasure yourself.
Good.
I'm not done. Pleasure yourself, stay busy. If it come down to it and you meet a woman and y'all have a conversation and having sexual tendencies towards each other, have that conversation. Be like, I'm not really ready, but I do want to do some other things with you. That person might become your fuck buddy. There you go right there.
Oh, God.
You never know. That fuck buddy might be your next relationship.
But again, is it healthy to go straight back?
Make sure it's healthy. Let me add that.
Is it healthy, though, to go back into even talking to somebody that might catch feelings for you and you've been with another person just like last month? That's what I'm talking about. Is it healthy to go straight back into even with a fuck buddy? Friends with benefits.
People got needs, like man.
Of course they do. But like
people got needs. And when it comes to that, I feel like people should be 100 about what it is that they want. Mm-hmm. Like, instead of just playing the game of, oh, I'm going to just go ahead and talk my shit. This person don't like me anyway. I know I can get that. Why go through all that when I can be like, look, I find you highly attractive. And I want to have sexual relationships without catching feelings for right now. Make that a thing. Now, don't make it toxic. What I'm trying to say is, I'd rather a person be real about what it is that they want with that person than to sit there and play the person.
Like I said,
so be real about what it is that you want. You never know. She might be on the same shit. Mm-hmm. You never know. A lot of people might be like, oh, I don't know about that. But it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah, I'm going to speak on the shit that niggas don't talk about. It's real. You never know what that person wants. Mm-hmm. She probably might want the same thing. She probably tired of niggas and just want some dick sometime. She might hit you up on some, hey, look, I just came home from a long-ass day. I need some dick. Boom. All right, bet. And that might go on for a hot little minute between y'all two, and if everything go well, you never know. You gonna totally forget about who you used to sleep with and think about this person you sleeping with, and y'all both be on y'all busy shit at the same time and just casually link up whenever the time being. And you might find your next real relationship just from that. You never know. Look, relationships is weird. That's why I'd rather just keep it 100.
Yeah.
Because you never know where you're going to meet your next relationship. You don't.
Yeah, you don't. But like I said,
people got needs too.
I know people do have needs, like I said, but it also is what y'all intentions together. Is it mutually beneficial? Stuff like that. That's something you sit down and have a conversation with if you do meet somebody after a breakup.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. So, what I want to ask is, for your emotional well-being, what did you do?
For my emotional?
Mm-hmm.
I made TikTok videos.
Mm-hmm.
It made me feel good. My followers make me feel good when it came down to me having the depressed moments and shit. I was just out here looking like a goddamn fool. Looking like a goddamn fool. But they made me feel good anyway.
Hell yeah.
What's the next question?
All right. Should you unfollow or block your ex on social media?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because it's going to tempt you to want to see what that person doing again.
Yeah, I can.
So you have to just, like I said, discipline yourself to not see that person's face.
But do you think that's a way for you to like get that obsession of, I need to see what they're doing, and you go back and you unblock them? Like some
absolutely
people, like
not.
They'll like unblock them and
not
block
if
them
you.
again,
That's only to the break-e. That's only towards the break-e. The person that's doing the breakup not about to go back and look at that person. That's the person that got broken up on. Yeah. I'm not about to break up with you and then go back on your page like, damn, I need that back. Like, I'm not doing that. Now, if you was the person that broke up with me, I'm going to be like, I miss her so much. Type shit.
I mean, I can see that. What about if you guys have friends, the same friends as the ex?
Just don't talk to me about my ex.
But what if they do? Like, y'all run in the same circle. Like, y'all run in the same circle. There ain't no way in hell that person is not going to be brought up.
If that person do get brought up, just don't say it around me, and I will strictly tell them, if it's about da-da-da-da-da, Don't say it around me. I don't give a fuck what that person doing. I don't want to know what that person dating. I don't want to know what that person. Y'all cool? Me personally, I'm talking to everybody. That's just me though, because I know I'm gonna hear about my ex. I'm not about to talk to anybody that I once talked to as my friend that's cool with my ex. Now, if we tight as fuck, they automatically know, oh yeah, I'm not about to talk to my ex.
Talk about that.
Huh?
You're not gonna talk about the ex around you.
Yeah, you're not gonna bring up my ex.
You're trying to get your mind off that person.
Yeah, like my real friends know. Yeah, I'm not about to talk about her around him. I don't want to hear it. I'm pretty sure my ex don't want to hear. Hey, did you know Egypt was da da da? They gonna be like, I don't give a fuck. They don't care, bro. Exactly. And if your friends is hell bent on still bringing that up, those ain't your friends. They want to see y'all back together. They either want to see y'all back together or they know that it's gonna annoy the fuck out of you.
I got a good one. You want to know?
I'm listening.
All right. What do you do if your ex keeps reaching out, but you're trying to move on? Have you been in that situation before?
Oh, absolutely. I've been through every goddamn situation on this list. I used to have, I don't hang out with niggas. No offense when I say this. Me personally, I just don't get along with boys. I get more along with females than I do homeboys. Reasons of that is because my homeboy could try to fuck with your ex after a breakup, which never happened to me, but it happens. Mm-hmm. Now, what was the question again?
What do you do if your ex keeps reaching
out? Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you had that happen?
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before. And what I did, like I said, I got female friends. Those female friends would answer my phone as though they was my ex. Well, not. Let me reframe that. I'm just chatting off at the mouth right now. My fault. My friends would pretend to be my girl towards my ex is what I mean. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little sleepy. But they'll be like, hey, da-da-da-da-da, phone, Egypt King's phone. Hi, this is his girlfriend. May I ask who's calling? I've definitely had that before. And we'd be in the background cracking the fuck up, smoking one, and laughing. Like, I've had that happen before.
Yeah. And how did that turn out when that ex kept trying to reach out to you? Did you ever respond to them?
No.
Without the female doing it?
No. And when I did, it was about talking about their mental health, which they never like. They don't like being talked to about their mental health.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so this segment's gonna be about moving forward and finding love again. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know when you're ready to date again, from a male perspective?
From a male's perspective,
talk to the men.
You might not ever want to get into a relationship if you on your grind. Know you on your grind. You're not really, to keep it 100, you're not thinking about no relationship. And if you get to a point where it's like, damn, I got all this money and nobody to spend it on, find somebody that's doing the same exact shit as you, that's getting their money up, and y'all put y'all money together and come as a whole. That's going to be your best relationship.
Yeah. So, since, like I said, even though you're going to be single and you're trying to better yourself or whatnot, how would you know you're ready to start dating again?
Once you reached every goal that you reach, and that one thing is missing, and that one thing that's missing is a relationship. You'll know and be like, damn, I just need to be with somebody.
You just need to be with somebody.
Well, I just need to be with somebody, but damn, like I got all this going on for myself, and I just want to fuck with somebody in the long way for once. I think it's time for me to get back out there. Pretty much. Every dude has those moments.
Yeah. Okay. What lessons should you take from a past relationship into a new one?
whatever that lesson is, whatever you went through with that person, you take that and you be like, okay, I know what to look for the next one. If it was any toxic red flag that you realize you had with your ex, if you take that with you and you, hell, if you had to, I'm not about to say automatically go in and trust a person because people, you feel me? Take what you learned from your ex, and in your next relationship, if that person don't act like your ex, fuck with that person. But then again, that person might have something else. Then you take.
Everybody got bad stuff.
Yeah, everybody got a toxic trait, man.
Everybody got toxic traits. It's the narcissist you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
Do they have narcissistic behaviors that you saw it will last?
Yeah.
That's what I would look out for. Like, if you know for that fact that those toxic traits, because like I said, every person has a toxic trait. That's everybody. I don't care who you are. Everybody got a dark side.
Ain't no such thing as a good person.
Everybody got a dark side. Everybody got some toxic. Some people can be manipulative that didn't think they could be manipulative. Everybody gaslights, and some people don't know that they do. Like I said, everybody has a toxic trait.
Like me, I know I can be
in a situation.
I know I could be a manipulative ass motherfucker if I really, really wanted to, but I choose not to because that's not gonna do anything for me. Mm-hmm. Like if you would have asked the old me in the past, that nigga would have been like, "Absolutely, man, I'm turning up." Now, older me is more relaxed, chilled, and a lot of shit don't bother me as much anymore. So that toxic shit, it does go away with growth.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, when I would take lessons, like I said, in my past, I was literally the one to shut down in my relationships. Like if it was any type of confrontation or conflict, my first thing is to shut all the way down. I don't want to hear this shit no more. Like shut all the way down, be quiet, and literally numb the fuck out. That was me. And then I came to the conclusion that I actually want to be a better communicator in mind. So that lesson that I learned and what my toxic trait was shutting down, I brought into my new relationship. We got to learn to communicate. If there's a problem, we need to be able to find a solution and fix it. I wanted to be able to know that my time was not being wasted. So communication to me in any relationship was the biggest thing for me. So what I did in my past, I didn't want to bring into my present. So I learned how to have emotional intelligence. I learned how to be communicative. Sometimes, I'm not perfect or whatnot because I still have those crash out moments. But at the end of the day, if you're still learning new things of how to do better from your last, that's all that should matter. So, like I said, what lessons I learned was to be more able to communicate with my partner. But, all right, you ready to get to this next one? The next one I think I will answer because, like I said, this is something that I do. How do you trust again after a painful breakup?
You don't.
To me, I think a lot of there's two different types of people. People who wear their heart on their sleeve and they just kind of full blown go with it and trust. And then you have those ones who that wall is up there depending on how bad it was. And you have to work with them slowly. A lot of people, especially dealing with narcissistic people, toxic people, those people who have been through those types of relationships are not going to let down their guard that easily, and it's up to you if you want to deal with that or not. If you love the person, 9 times out of 10, you're always going to try to be communicative with the person and allow them to trust you more and show them that with reassurance and stuff like that, that it's okay for them to trust again and to even love again. Because some people feel like they won't even love again or be vulnerable. So it really just depends. Like I said, Egypt, I think your thing is what? You kind of have walls up, like you have walls up or whatnot, and then you slowly allow them to come down where I trust fully. I have to trust blindly, and then you're going to give me a reason not to trust. So that's kind of what I am in I know, like I said, a lot of other people, especially who have been in very, very toxic relationships, they're more slowly to bring down walls and trust other people again, especially after breakup and heartbreaks.
For me,
You want to ask him?
I thought I'm cooking in the background.
I'm trying to cook. Trying to cook some nachos.
Yeah, nacho night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it, nacho night.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
all right.
Anyway,
How
you trust him? Or start?
you have to allow yourself to trust, even if it means putting a little, not a high wall, but a little bit of a wall up to where, okay, I'm not gonna give my full trust to this person, but dumb it down for yourself just a little bit, make it a little bit easier on you and on that person, so they not jumping through hoops, but they not knocking all your walls down either. Just tread carefully, because you don't know.
How for you did you start to trust me?
You've been there through everything that I've been through, so it's like I can trust this person with my life. You have to literally be there and have the time to be around me
And patience.
and all that in order for me to open up. Like, it's not about to be no 3 months to a year. You gonna be working for this motherfucker for an X amount of years till you realize, oh yeah, this person can be trusted. That's just me though.
Yeah. How do you avoid repeating old patterns in a new relationship? So, like the things that.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
What are you learning?
I'm still learning. That ain't the people business. That ain't your business.
No, goodness. How do you avoid repeating it, though?
How do you avoid repeating it?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, but like I said, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about disciplining yourself. Treat yourself as though you was in the military. Mm-hmm. Like, and what I mean by that is, we all know people in the military is very disciplined. Mm-hmm. Very disciplined. They don't break character. They don't get out of character. They don't even allow a person to literally make them break character of who they are and have to bring that hood out of them. You feel me? You have to discipline yourself to trust again. You have to discipline yourself from repeating the old habits that you once had. Some harder than others. I don't know what you're going through. I can only give you a little bit of what I'm going through, and I only hope that it can relate. But treat yourself as though you was in the military. Mm-hmm. Do a mental boot camp. Mm-hmm. Mental boot camp.
Mm-hmm. I think, like I said, if your partner brings the habit or the pattern up, be willing to examine that. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to bring it up anymore if it's already taken care of. So, like I said, repeating all habits, especially if they've known you for years, even before y'all got together. Go ahead and kind of listen in, because 9 times out of 10, you never have to hear it anymore. So, like I said, with me, like I said, mine was communication. And me having the bad habit of shutting down and then shutting the person out. Like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. You're basically belittling me. And they were just trying to give me constructive criticism of what I could be doing better, but in a more nonchalant, non-tolerant way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I made it my point to not bring the old habit of shutting down when it comes to my relationship, and being able to communicate like an adult, and also learn what emotional intelligence is when having a conversation, so I'm not overly emotional when I'm speaking to the person, so I'm not going off of emotion. So yeah, that was basically what I did. So last question, babe. Mm-hmm. What does a healthy new relationship look like after healing?
Sunshines and fucking rainbows.
Oh, God.
Sunshines and fucking rainbows.
Ain't no
Your smile, like, okay, for instance, what do a healthy relationship look like?
After you've healed.
After what?
After you've healed, like you.
After you heal, your people around you gonna be like, you look different today. Mm-hmm. Like, you glowing. Your smile is bigger. Like, people will say that about you, and you might not notice it, but other people will.
Especially other people who knew what you were going through back then.
Yeah, and they see a whole different demeanor. A whole other character that they ain't seen before. It's like, oh shit. Like, yeah, that's how you know. Mm-hmm. Like, my mom loves the fuck out of my girl. Like, loves the fuck out of Asha. She literally tell me all the time, you should have met her a long time ago. You feel me? So, like I said, people will tell you. You ain't even gotta realize it. You gotta realize it. But you ain't even gotta acknowledge it. Other people will acknowledge it for you.
Mm-hmm. They'll see the glow in you.
Yeah.
After a while, like when I got into a relationship where I was laughing all the time, and I'm constantly cracking up in this one. Constantly cracking up. People will be like, "You're always smiling all the time. You're always happy. You're always positive." That's how you know that you're going, one, in the right direction, 2, you're with the right person, and 3, that you're actually healing. Like I said, because even I've come to the conclusion that you can be single and heal, but relationships are a whole new level of healing at the same time. So me being me, I think that being in a relationship has healed me, because it also shows me my triggers. Because if you're single, you don't always have to deal with your triggers. But if you have, if you're in a relationship, that person's gonna trigger you one day into saying something. You're like, oh snap, I thought I healed that part of myself. Oh snap, I thought I could communicate better. Oh snap, I didn't think I was like, having all these emotions when it comes to something that the other person is doing. And I think that's for me, that's the fastest way for me to heal too. It was for me being in a new relationship. So, like I said, I think I kind of learned more from being in a relationship than I did when I was single, because I didn't have anybody trying to trigger me or trying to, tell me what to do, or if I should go this way or if I should go that way. I didn't have anybody pushing me at that time, to do that. So I think, like I said, healthy new relationships, you have a glow to you, and that's one of the things you should look at. What else, babe?
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Like I said, you're going to see the signs. The signs is all there once you're in a happy relationship. It's just going to hit you and be like, damn, this is totally different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, and like I always say, when you've been in chaos for so long, sometimes all you know is chaos.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta... now.
Yep. Like I said, y'all will know the difference. And like I said, being single is not a death sentence. It's not something that's going to kill you. It's just another form of healing. Breakups are going to be good and bad regardless. Mm-hmm. So take it as a lesson if it does come to that final time where you and that other person will be together. And it's sad, but at the same time, you guys are just on different paths. Mm-hmm. And who's to say y'all wouldn't come back and, try to rekindle it? It's not always bad, especially if we had a healthy relationship. It's just right person, wrong time at that point.
Yeah.
I know some people don't believe in that, but it can happen. It can definitely happen. Mm-hmm. Like I said. So, yeah, but I just want to encourage y'all to submit y'all own breakup stories. If y'all got questions or want more advice, definitely drop us a comment. Leave your own personal stories. I'd love to hear from y'all. Like I said, this is therapy time. This is our therapy session to kind of just learn and grow and heal and know that there are like-minded people just like you out there that go through the same thing. And like I said, It's the therapy session, y'all. Okay?
Yeah,
It's the therapy session.
we just everyday people that deal with life in general.
Yeah,
And we've been through pretty much what everybody else goes through in the world, and some people ain't got an outlet. So we have this podcast for y'all, so y'all will have an outlet and be like, oh damn, like it's all about finding your people. That's what we're doing. We're finding our people. Hopefully, you're one of our people. Welcome to the podcast.
The therapy session, y'all. Love y'all.